All right, Gonky.
Oh yeah, Wombat. I'm glad you're on for this one.
Oh, the hate mail finally stopped.
Yeah, so the Chinese Navy they just commissioned their Fujian carrier. So we've talked about it in the past.
Oh yeah.
They had a big ceremony, which we got about a 1 minute clip here that we'll show in a minute of the ceremony. So how do you pronounce it? Xi Jinping or whatever. He came out to visit, and there's an expanded video about 8 or 10 minutes long of his trip there, and it's pretty eye opening. I mean, we won't bore you with it, but we'll hit the highlights. But yeah, so this is the first, I guess you'd call it a super carrier. It's got electromagnetic catapults, similar in size, is 80,000 tons. Usually the Nimitz class carriers and the new Ford is close to 100,000 tons, but they've just put this thing to sea, and they now have 3 carriers. The Chinese do that. There's 2 with the ramp. This is the only one with catapults. So the catapult gives them the ability to launch airplanes with more weapons, more fuel. So their power projection is going to be a lot stronger with this carrier. Only downfall is it is non-nuke, which means it's got a range of 8 to 10,000 miles and that needs refueled. Whereas U.S. carriers are nuke powered and they can just keep going. And really, you're limited by basically supplies for the crew and for the aircraft. But I think it's pretty incredible how quickly they brought this carrier to operation. We have 11 carriers on the U.S. side. I think India, England, and there's one other country. I think they have carriers too, but they all have 2. So China is now the second largest carrier operator in the world, and China has the largest navy in the world. And we've touched on it before, their industrial capacity. So the future, so the next carrier past this, obviously probably have the electromagnetic catapults, and the rumor is going to be nuke powered. So this is kind of the, I think of it as like the JFK of, there's a picture of one of their carriers with the ramp, and then the
Fujian. Like a toy. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
Don't dislike it.
You can.
That's as big as it gets.
Isn't it? Okay.
Oh man, so many jokes that could be.
Yeah, so there he is, Xi Jinping. Yeah,
he flies.
No, that wasn't him.
Oh,
that was the demo.
Oh.
He's saying they're all heroes. I want to ask Wombat a couple questions about the video.
Marching. I'd like Wombat's take on the marching.
No, dude, it's yeah. So the expanded videos is pretty unique, but it's funny, man. I watch this and I'm reminded of Asian culture, which is fine. It's different than ours. But Wombat, so obviously, right, the helicopters look like Seahawks, the yellow coats, and all.
You're not allowed to point that out, Gonky.
Right. Their Hawkeye kind of looks like our Hawkeye.
I can neither confirm nor deny any of the comments you're making right now. But continue.
Did you notice? So even when they go inside the ship, with that clip didn't show, but it is exceptionally clean.
Yeah.
It's new.
It's new.
Yeah.
Cookies.
Quite a spread. Exactly.
It's their yellow cake of uranium.
Yeah. Even inside, I mean, it is clean. And I bring that up because I wonder how much actual operating they've done with it, because it's not that we're dirty. It's just that like they do the carrier, that thing is just, it's working all the time.
Yes, but if you look at any of our videos, like the one, where the president went and did the Navy power demo and stuff, right? The carrier looks pretty darn good when he's there, right? So that doesn't surprise me. One, it's new, so it's easier to keep clean when it's new. Although I will say in a lot of regards, maybe not, because the building of a ship that size just brings a lot of dirt and grime with it. But I think a lot of it is, if I was a country and I was going to put this much effort into this type of warfare for an obvious reason, I'd want it to look good. I mean, you'd be a fool not to, right? Because this is all you're going to show, right? I mean, so this is all the rest of the world's really going to see, and it's that first impression kind of thing. The thing that I find interesting is if you go to, I don't know if you could pull it back up, but a video of the flight deck from the top. So a lot of people notice that it has 3 catapults, right? Which, okay, fine. But unlike our aircraft carriers, where you could simultaneously recover while still launching off the bow on both cats, can't do that on this one. You're limited to 1 cat, which sounds minor, but it's in a cyclic ops scenario. You know, you talk to some of our Super Hornet buddies that may or may not have also been accidentally shot down by our own battle group. You know, when they're doing cyclic ops, you know, you're launching and recovering at the same time, and the layout of our carrier is specifically designed for that. You're down to 1 cat, and here comes the issue is, as you know, Gonky, you've spent a lot of time in aircraft carriers. You know, the old the thing that I find funny about Hollywood is a lot of times when they make movies about the Navy, some of it is so grossly wrong, but some of the things, the little subtleties, are so grossly right. And if you think back to the original Top Gun and, you know, how they're intercepting these aircraft in the opening scene, and, you know, it's like, we need to launch more planes. We need to launch. And it's like, you know, both cats are down. It's going to be 10 minutes, right? That's a famous thing. This is going to be over in 2 minutes. Get on it, right? Like, everybody remembers that. That's not abnormal. So if you have an aircraft carrier where you're trying to recover planes and now you only have 1 workable bow cat anyway, and something happens, you know, it's all about redundancy at sea, because you're in an environment that's saltwater, that's just hard on everything, right? And that's that. So to me, that was one of the things I thought of immediately, like, ooh, okay, that's going to be a problem. That's going to be an issue they're going to have to figure out. And that's not an easy issue to figure out. And I don't know why they did that. But you know, there's definitely a reason. Forget the 3 catapults. Don't care. I mean, I do care, but don't care as much about that. But the geometry of the flight deck, that's a big one. That's going to make some big differences.
You bring up a good point. I can't remember the numbers exactly, but the sortie generation rate that they think this carrier is capable of is like roughly 75% of what the U.S. carriers are. And you're right. You can see clearly, man, the
number 2, you're not.
It's on the foul line for so the angle part of the deck is where they would do the recovery, and then the 2 lines up front here are basically the 2 catapults, and the one on, at least on my screen, the apparent right would put you in the space of airplanes trying to recover. So you're right. That's a good observation. There's only really one catapult available
you can launch from,
for launching while recovering, and that would severely that would cut it in half, right? I mean,
I mean, really, because remember, you could launch on ours every you know, however many seconds it took between, and you could just do it. I mean, we did it all the time during CQ. Right. I mean, remember, CQ, you would go out, you'd trap, you'd turn right, you'd either turn right out of the LA and you're either going right back to the cat, or you're going
that's true,
to get gas and then go to the cat. So I mean, you know, you take away one of those catapults, that's going to significantly slow down that operation, in my opinion. And then I know people joke, and look, all jokes aside, like, building an aircraft carrier, whether it's from scratch, not from scratch, it doesn't matter. Like, it's no small feat. Like, that's a huge ship. And I know, you know, the goal is eventually it'll be nuclear powered, but having a non-nuclear powered aircraft carrier, I don't think people that haven't been to sea can really appreciate how much of a support network you really need for that thing to do anything. I mean, anything, because, you know, like, you kind of joked that, or didn't joke, but you're like, you know, in the Navy, you're limited by supplies for the crew and all that. Which, oh, by the way, if it hits the fan, nobody cares about supplies for the crew. They're just going to go, and they'll catch up with the logistics chain later. Like, us having hard packed ice cream was the least of their concerns when it was time to hammer down and go. Right. I mean,
dude, to refuel a carrier, man, they got to slow down. They got to pull another ship up next to it. Like, to resupply the crew, it's like, just fly the COD 24/7 until we have enough ice cream.
Yeah. Or don't worry about it, because they'll figure it out. Right. But yeah, it is huge. And remember now, additionally, if you're doing that, where you've got to slow down and refuel, you're not doing cyclic ops while you're doing it. You're not launching and recovering airplanes while you're doing it, likely, right? So you've now limited some of its battle effectiveness already because of the catapult and the flight deck layout. But now if you've got to refuel because of, that, well, now are we doing any flight ops? Well, no. Okay. Well, and in a wartime scenario, like the carrier's ability to just keep operating is huge. So while I think they've come a massively long way, and I have no doubt that they are going to continue to go far with this, I think there's going to be a lot of lessons learned in the real world use of this aircraft carrier.
Yeah, 100%, man. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind the next one will probably be nuke, and it will probably address all these things we're talking about. But I don't know, man. I mean, it's still amazing to me how far they've come in a short amount of time with everything. Really.
Oh, 100%. Hats off to that. That is, I mean, they are.